Jordan has been pushed to the brink after Israel halted an emergency increase in water supplies, leaving officials warning of rapidly worsening shortages and mounting social pressure on the government. A major diplomatic rupture has unfolded as the temporary agreement that had doubled Israel's yearly water transfers to Jordan expired and was not renewed, prompting urgent consultations in Amman and concern among regional partners. Public anger in Jordan has reached fever pitch, with political leaders and citizens alike expressing outrage over the suspension of extra water flows and warning that continued cuts could severely damage bilateral ties. The expiry of the 2021 Supplemental Water Agreement, which had provided Jordan with an additional 50 million cubic meters annually, has left Amman scrambling for alternatives and sparked deep frustration among policymakers and the public. Israeli officials say the larger, post-2021 water arrangement was allowed to lapse amid political tensions and has been conditioned in part on improvements in diplomatic rhetoric and relations, while Israeli domestic considerations and resource limits were also cited. Jordan is reportedly angered by Israel's refusal to renew the 2021 water supply agreement, with officials in Amman viewing the move as a serious political and humanitarian setback. Israel still supplies 50 million cubic meters of water under the 1994 peace treaty, which remains the legal foundation for the two countries' long-running water cooperation. The 2021 deal had doubled Israel's annual freshwater supply to water-scarce Jordan, offering a much-needed boost to a country already struggling with chronic shortages. The expanded water agreement expired in late 2025 after multiple extensions, leaving the two sides without a renewed arrangement despite repeated diplomatic pressure. Israel reportedly linked additional water supplies to improve ties with Jordan, turning a practical resource issue into a broader political bargaining point. Jordan said the water agreement remains a key part of the country's peace treaty, underscoring how central the issue is to bilateral relations. King Abdullah reportedly refused Netanyahu's meeting request over the water dispute, signaling how deeply the issue has strained top-level engagement. Reports said renewing the water deal was among Jordan's conditions for talks, making the supply issue one of the main obstacles to restoring smoother relations. Israel reportedly renewed the deal earlier under U.S. pressure and regional security needs, with Washington and regional instability both pushing the two sides to keep the arrangement alive. Jordan helped intercept Iranian drones targeting Israel during the conflict, reports said, highlighting how security coordination can sometimes continue even when bilateral relations are strained. However, Israel reportedly grew reluctant after repeated criticism from Jordanian officials, as political friction made it harder to sustain even practical forms of cooperation. Water issues may be discussed at a proposed UAE-hosted trilateral energy summit, where officials could use the meeting to address both urgent needs and wider diplomatic concerns. Israel, Jordan, and the UAE are reportedly considering talks in Abu Dhabi, signaling a possible effort to widen the conversation beyond a simple bilateral dispute. The summit could focus on water, normalization, and stronger regional cooperation, linking resource security with diplomatic engagement and long-term stability. Israel says extra water supplies depend on goodwill between the two countries, framing the issue as one that cannot be separated from the political relationship. Israeli officials say warmer ties are expected in return for additional water supplies, suggesting that future cooperation may hinge on improved trust and less public confrontation. In 2026, Israel significantly outperformed Jordan across military categories, according to global firepower data, reflecting a clear overall advantage in force size and spending. Israel maintains 169,500 active personnel compared to Jordan's 114,500, giving it a larger standing force for sustained operations and readiness. Israel can call on 465,000 reserves, far exceeding Jordan's 100,000, which adds major depth in the event of a large-scale conflict. Israel's defense budget stands at $34.6 billion, more than 12 times larger than Jordan's $2.67 billion, underscoring the scale gap in military investment. However, on land, Jordan holds a slight edge in tanks with 1,508 against Israel's 1,300, giving it a narrow advantage in that one category. On February 15th, Iranian media channels aired an animated video claiming to depict the layout of the U.S. Muvaffaq Salti Air Base in Jordan. The clip purported to show ramp areas, taxiways, and the runway configuration of the base. Muvafafak Salti Air Base is viewed as a key hub for the expanding U.S. air presence in the region. Reports indicate the base hosts F-15s, F-35A and A-10C jets, along with U.S. Navy EA-18G aircraft. On February 16, Iran declared a full 24-hour surveillance lockdown over the Strait of Hormuz. IRGC Navy Chief Ali Reza Tangsiri stated that Iranian monitoring now covers surface, aerial, and subsurface domains in the area. His statement came during an IRGC naval exercise in the Persian Gulf amid fears of possible conflict with U.S. forces. The first phase of the drills took place around the strategically sensitive Greater Tunb, Lesser Tunb, and Abu Musa Islands. Reports say rapid response battalions rehearsed both offensive and defensive maneuver operations during these exercises.
$25 करोड़ गरीब गरीबी को परास्त करके बाहर निकले।
For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again.
The fastest news breaks.
Requested PM saying that look, you will have to speak to Putin and to Zelensky.
The biggest news makers.
The relationship with India is probably the most important bilateral relationship the U.S. will have for the rest of this century.
The capital delivered quite an election result today.
Expert analysis.
The million-dollar question today is how to stop this dance of death.
Ground reports.
I'm standing at the crossroad of the Kumbh Mela. Behind me are more than 100 entry ghats.
Long-form interviews.
Exclusionary politics is reflected in Manipur case as well. You don't bother because this is a small state.
Deep dive into burning issues.
It's often said DRC could be the richest country in the whole world. It's because of what sits underneath.
Why exactly did the US topple the Sheikh Hasina government?
HT videos. We don't just break news, we break it down.